As a married woman, the concept of adultery makes me physically sick to my stomach. The idea that anyone else could insert themselves into my marriage and reach any level of intimacy close to what I have with my husband truly makes me ill. The sad reality, though, is that it happens. And as Pastor Jim has addressed in the past, affairs are not an overnight development, nor an impulsive decision. There are usually a lot of factors over the course of some time that lead to the act of adultery. Good friends of mine, both who have a relationship with God and who deeply love Him and each other, found themselves dealing with this particular situation not many years after they were married. The husband of the couple had been caught in a full-fledged physical and emotional affair with another woman. All of it was and is heartbreaking. The Bible is very clear on the need to keep the marriage bed pure. In the New Testament book of Hebrews, it says, "Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed be kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral." In the case of my friends, it would be so tempting to bring him before a crowd and punish him for what had happened. If I've lost you, I invite you to go back and listen to last weekend's message on the Meck App or on Meck's YouTube channel. Or you can read the story for yourself in John's biography of Jesus found in the Bible starting in chapter 8. But back to my friends. His wife chose a different path. Like I said, she had a great relationship with God, and she knew what a reaction like that was not one that would honor God. Her husband broke vows, but that doesn't mean that she gets to even the score. It was a long road for them, and it took work for both of them. But after some time, they found reconciliation. She found that she could trust him again, and he realized what vows actually meant. Do you remember those bracelets with WWJD on them? The "What Would Jesus Do" bracelets? That's what my friend did. It would have been easy to walk away from her marriage. They were so young. They had no kids. They were renting an apartment. They both were in entry-level positions in a city that neither of them considered to be their forever home. Ending the marriage would have not been that logistically complicated. But it's not what Jesus would do. My friend made vows to this man. He broke them, but that didn't make it okay for her to break them too. And one of her vows she made was, "For better for worse, till death parts them." And she saw this as the worst of the worst part of that vow. But they were both still very much alive. But just as Jesus calls out the men ready to condemn and stone the woman caught in adultery we talked about last weekend, telling them that only if they had not sinned would they be able to throw a stone at her, and none were able to, my friend also did not condemn holding a grudge against her husband. Rather, she found grace and mercy. Like I mentioned earlier, it took work. This was not an overnight change. But they're thriving as a married couple, using their story to help others who may have been or are in the same situation, and hopefully helping others from falling prey to the same mistakes. I don't know what your situation is, but I would challenge you to help resurrect the mindset of the WWJD bracelets and ask yourself, what would Jesus actually do in this situation?